You can bet in a heartbeat that I make quality videos.
Cave Johnson here. I've received complaints from anonymous employees that our support of the homosexual lifestyle is degenerate and irresponsible. It really got me thinking, and I think I found a solution. So good news! We now have 23 vacated positions reserved for members of the LGBT community. Additional good news, we began a new testing initiative on evolutionary degeneration with 23 test subjects all ready to go. Cave Johnson here. If you're experiencing a time loop in which you're repeating the month of June over and over, that's totally intentional. We at Aperture Science felt that Pride Month was not long enough, and so we created this loop to let employees experience as much pride as they feel like. To get out of this loop, simply use the pod labeled Time Machine in Shaft 6, and then either kill or save the baby on the other end, depending on when in the loop you're on. Don't worry about the baby's identity. He grows up to be an asshole. Cave Johnson here, happy to announce that our Rainbow Gel project was a massive success. We have developed distinct gels in every color of the Rainbow Pride flag. In fact, it was too much of a success, so we'll be updating our Pride flag accordingly to include 75 new colors corresponding to all of our new gels. Word of advice though, don't stare at the flag for too long. Most of these colors haven't been tested on human eyes yet. What do I always say, Caroline? Trans rights, Mr. Johnson. That's right. Cave Johnson here. Cave Johnson queer. Get used to it. Cave Johnson here. Caroline just informed me that I am her beard. I checked, and I failed to see how I could possibly have grown out of her face. If anybody knows anything about human to facial hair transmortification, please report to my office. Cave Johnson here. Friendly reminder that Aperture employees living prior to the legalization of gay marriage are invited to use our Aperture Science Temporal Matrimony Pod in order to travel to the future with your same-sex partner and get married there. Employees from the future who wish to return to a time before gay people being able to marry are also welcome to use the pod, and we'll make sure to send you to an era well before gay marriage. I'm thinking maybe late Cretaceous. Cave Johnson here. I'm proud to announce that our plan to hire only female test subjects to prevent them from flirting with our female scientists has been a resounding failure. Cave Johnson here. I'm afraid we'll have to temporarily pause all experimentation with the gender affirmation beam. The testing itself is going great. The beam is working, but we're starting to run out of thigh-high socks and khaki shorts. Cave Johnson here. Shafts 10 through 14 are currently under lockdown due to a meltdown in the neo-pronoun synthesizer. The transphobes up in DC might call that a disaster in the making, but I call it a win for diversity. That being said, most of these pronouns are radioactive, so do watch out. Cave Johnson here. If you feel a sudden sense of elation and contentness when putting on your new Aperture Science unisex uniform, that is not gender euphoria. That's a hallucinogenic fungus taking over your brain. Take the uniform off immediately and throw it in the nearest incinerator. Cave Johnson here. I won't tolerate any misgendering of the interdimensional invaders swarming the facility. Their pronouns are they, them, and we're ought to respect that. We're also ought to shoot them on sight, since they're extremely hostile and bent on enslaving our planet. Cave Johnson here. To all of my suitors and secret admirers, thank you. Honestly, I'm flattered. Unfortunately for you, I don't swing that way. Or anyway, I only swing where the wrecking ball of science takes me, usually into a brick wall. Cave Johnson here. I've been thinking. We have gay pride and we have gender envy. What other deadly sins can we incorporate? Maybe bisexual sloth? Lesbian wrath? I'll talk to the lab boys about it. Cave Johnson here. Update. The Lesbian Wrath Project is postponed indefinitely. My condolences to the families of the deceased. Though, let's be honest, they probably had it coming. Cave Johnson here. For the last time, I'm reclaiming the slur is not a valid excuse to shout out loud the killer android's activation codes. We picked that word for a reason. Cave Johnson here. I'd like to apologize to Floor 194 Safety Supervisor Doug Blakely for firing him after allegations that he was forcing employees back in the closet. I was not aware that said closet was a literal storage closet for zombified Aperture employees. To make it up to Doug, he'll be allowed to feed Floor 194 HR manager Lisa Bryant to the closet zombies if he so chooses. Cave Johnson here. A reminder that next year, Transgender Day of Visibility falls on Extra Dimensional Day of Visibility. The lab boys are cautioning me to caution you to be prepared. Do not confuse transgender and transdimensional. Big mistake. Cave Johnson here. To all cishet Aperture employees who volunteered for the Get More Woke program, please report to your department's OR at the nearest convenience to get the alarm clocks surgically removed from your spinal cord. Aperture Science apologizes for the misunderstanding. Cave Johnson here. Dr. Barnaby from Cyborg Engineering is an attack helicopter. That's not a transphobic joke, by the way. They literally transformed themselves into an amalgam of human and helicopter. Impressive. Unauthorized, of course, but still impressive. Anyway, we lost track of them, so everyone watch the sky for a mad scientist with blue rotors and machine guns. Cave Johnson here. To the Joker who added, "Make the sun gay" to our quarterly agenda, I hope you're pleased with yourself. The astrophysics department is tearing itself apart, with half of them shouting that you can't make the sun gay, and the other half screaming that the sun is already gay. Either way, we're not doing it. Cave Johnson here. The congressional delegation of Senator Patrick Johnson, no relation, to inspect our facilities had to be cut short due to a mishap with the gender affirmation beam. I'd like to apologize on behalf of Aperture Science to Senator Johnson and her staff. Cave Johnson here. Just the other day, our sign guy asked me, "Cave, don't you think LGBTQIA2S+ is a tad too long?" And I told him, first of all, that's Mr. Johnson to you. And secondly, I actually think it's not long enough. And that's why I'm adding an ampersand to the acronym. Don't know what it stands for yet, but I'll figure it out. Cave Johnson here. You already know that here in Aperture Science, we're all about gender-affirming care. We've been at the forefront of hormone replacement therapy since before we knew what these hormones do. You also know that here in Aperture Science, we're all about not getting sued. So everyone be quiet about our role in the estrogen cola disaster.